During his lecture, Hanji was thinking about the fact that how can he check his skill list window. Then an idea popped into his head and he thought that it could be voice activated. He spoke status window in a low voice and the window actually appeared in front of him. He was shown to be level 6 and he still had 10 remaining unallocated points. He also tried out his inventory, which worked as expected. He wonders whether he can store things in it. He pushed his pen into the inventory, and the pen got absorbed into the inventory completely. He was shocked by this revelation, and he got surprised attacked by a teacher who was mad at him for not paying attention in class. His teacher asked for his hands and started beating the shit out of Hanji. He was in pain, which was further fueled by the notification that his endurance skill was leveled up. After school ended, we got to know that Hanji had spent all his time at school trying to figure out his skill instead of studying, but he managed to figure out a few things. Firstly, if he repeats any action, he can get a new skill related to that. Secondly, his body has also changed, due to which he doesn't get many injuries. If his HP goes down, he will feel pain, and when his HP goes up, his wounds will also heal up. Lastly, he found that he had 5 skills in total, out of which 3 were newly generated, which were Endurance, Observe and Rip, and he was not aware of the other 2. These 2 skills were a gamer's mind, which allows him to calmly and logically think through, prevent psychological attacks, and also allow a peaceful state of mind, and the other one is a gamer's body, which allows him to have a body with which he can live in the real world like a game character. Hanji gets back home and thinks to himself that now that he has become an RPG character, he will be able to recover from all sorts of worse injuries when his HP goes up. But the real problem is how he will avoid illusion barriers in the future, and even if he managed to avoid them, how will he deal with people like Ruby and Agent K, and what he should do as a game character. The following day, Hanji goes through his stuff to find a metal bat. He uses his observer skill on it, but it doesn't tell him about the attack damage of the bat. He then puts the bat in his inventory and goes to a forest to get some new skills. He attacks a tree with his metal bat, then a lot of notifications appear in front of him telling him that due to a special action a new skill is being created, which is Power Strike, and due to this skill his critical hit rate is increased by 15% and attack damage increased by 50%. He also has a skill called Blunt Weapon Mastery, due to which he will be able to handle any blunt weapon freely, and also increase his attack damage with Blunt Weapon by 10% and attack speed with Blunt Weapon by 5%. Hanji became proud of his newfound skills. He now only has one thing left to do, and that is grinding. He keeps hitting the tree with his Power Strike skill and levels it up by 1. He calculates that it takes only 30 hits for him to level up his skills. He tries using his skill again, but nothing happens, so he checks his status window and finds that his mana has completely depleted and he can't use any skills without his mana. He checked his mana recovery rate, which was only 1 per minute, and to fully recharge his mana he had to wait another 100 minutes. He is now at a crossroads of choosing between increasing his mana recovery rate and using his passive skills to fight. Hanji kept on grinding till sunset, and even though he was working for a whole day he didn't feel like he had worked for an entire day because of his skill, which allowed him to get better after 30 minutes, no matter how tired he gets, due to which he was able to raise his Power Strike skill to level 3 and Blunt Weapon Mastery to level 5. Due to his skills, he is able to do more than twice his base damage to enemies. He was walking back home during night time, but he notices that he was not hearing anything and the lights of houses were also turned off. He quickly realized that he was in another illusion barrier, and he took his metal bat out of his inventory. A voice coming from behind scared Hanji. He turned back to see a man in the dark, and when the guy came closer the streetlight revealed that it was a zombie. A lot of other zombies also appeared on the street. Hanji was able to maintain his composure due to a gamer's mind skill. He used his observe skill on the zombie, which revealed that it was twice as strong as when it was alive and had 800 HP. Hanji swung his bat on the zombie and dealt 400 critical damage, and with another strike he quickly killed the zombie. Notifications appeared about him gaining 350 EXP. He ran toward a narrow alley where he found 3 zombies. Hanji used his power strike skill to kill those 3 zombies. He thought he could rest for a while, but 2 more zombies appeared in front of him. Hanji chose to attack them with only normal attacks. He swung his bat on one zombie, and while he was beating the first zombie, another one tried to attack him from behind, but he managed to evade it and killed the second zombie on the spot. Hanji thinks that he hasn't leveled up yet, but with 1 more zombie, he will be able to level up. He climbs up a wall and sees a large horde of zombies in front of him. He got scared thinking about having to kill so many zombies, but then he saw a red ball in the mix of these zombies. The ball grew bigger in front of Hanji. The ball also started emitting lightning. The ball started swallowing the zombies. The zombies started going berserk due to the red ball. One of them notices Hanji, and then every zombie starts going towards him. Hanji took his metal bat out of his inventory and got ready to fight. The zombies started climbing the wall in order to reach Hanji. Hanji swung his metal bat at the zombies, but it was not very effective. He used his power strike skill to kill the zombie. He leveled up by 1. The conditions were not looking good for Hanji, but then the red ball absorbed the zombies who were going after Hanji. Hanji stares at the red ball, which has gotten very large. Then we hear Agent K saying everything is going smoothly. Hanji noticed Agent K, but he hasn't noticed him. The red ball started shrinking and went toward Agent K. Agent K put his hand in the air and broke the illusion barrier. Everything gets back to normal. Hanji thought to himself about what was Agent K doing. Hanji realized that he was in big trouble because Agent K was making illusion barriers left and right, and he needed to know how to get out of an illusion barrier. He thinks the quickest way to do that is to ask his friend Joker. On next day, his friend Joker greeted him in the morning. Hanji notices that he was level 25 before and now he has gotten to level 28. Hanji asked Joker to follow him to the store. Joker asks him to buy him something, to which Hanji agrees. While sitting on a bench, Joker asked what was he so curious about that he even bought something for him. Hanji asked how to get out of an illusion barrier. Joker starts explaining that to get out of an illusion barrier, he needs to use his aura with the will get out. Joker stops midway and looks at Hanji menacingly. Joker grabs Hanji by his neck and asks what had he done to his friend.